What's going on, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Life of the Young Funeral Professionals. I do want to say, I'm not want to see you all before the holidays, so I really want to wish you happy holidays. Please, before we even get started, if y'all don't know the routine by now, it's okay. I'm gonna tell you anyhow. I want you to I want you to share, and please comment as we go through tonight's conversation. Tonight, I have a special guest. All my guests are special, but this young lady is really, really special. I think she is going to be someone that is like, top tier funeral service. I'm telling you, I really, really do. And so please welcome, roll out the red carpet for Miss Michaela Hudson.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Was it, you know what I mean? Roll out the red carpet for Miss Michaela. Come on here.
I saw it. I saw it. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. So I'm so thankful for that you are on tonight. Thank you for your time, because I know in this industry we are all so busy, but I thank you for making time for this tonight. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. So I just want to learn more about you myself, but the viewers want to learn about you. So tell me, how long you've been in funeral service?
I've been in funeral service since 2017.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. What made you decide to get in funeral service? Like, what was your inspiration to get inside a funeral service?
Well, I probably was that morbid, weird kid. I always liked it hearses. I always liked the funeral homes. And then my grandmother was a funeral home freak. So everybody funeral that she went to, I was at. Playing with them folks' bodies, touching them, going to people funerals that we didn't know. So in a way, she indirectly led me to this. And I started to love it. And I was like, was always embedded in my heart. And I wanted to go to mortuary school right out of high school, but I did play basketball, so I went to pursue school then, and then I went to mortuary school afterwards. So I did keep the promise.
Okay. I think that's ain't that like kind of like everybody's story? Like we were like morbid kids.
Pretty much.
But I give kudos to basketball, because hand-eye coordination and everybody in my face waving arms and screaming and all being all loud. It didn't work. It really didn't.
Right.
Even like the sound of the sneakers. I was just too unfocused for that. My ADHD was kicking in. I'm looking at the mascot on the bleachers. Like, I wasn't paying attention.
Um,
So, actually, like, I know that first off, I do want to say Michaela has some of the best graduation pictures from mortuary school that I've ever seen in my life. You
Thank
would have
you.
thought she was America's Next Top Model standing next to this casket. I'm telling you, she has some of the best pictures. So tell me
Thank you.
how your journey was through mortuary school. And I know were you still working at a funeral home while you were in mortuary school? How was
Mhm.
that?
So I really started working here while I was in college.
Okay.
I got this job right after my grandmother passed.
Okay.
Going to college and being an athlete, it's like you have to keep your grades up to play. And
Yeah.
you have that push from your coaches and your teammates. But when you go to mortuary school, it's different.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
honestly feel like mortuary school was very challenging for me. It was more challenging for me than going to get my bachelor's and my associates, because it was like, who do I have? And my
Mhm.
ultimate push, of course, my grandmother is the reason why my grind was so deep for this, because this is what she wanted. But
Right.
I struggled. I failed some classes. I was down. I was depressed. I went through some things, but I made it through. But I will also say, like, mortuary school, like it had I wouldn't put it all on myself, because we had a lot of issues, like with teachers and the online class and the program itself. It was very challenging, but I know I had to prevail. And it's
Gotcha.
like everything in mortuary school is concentrated to funeral service. So everything that you taking, your business class, your science, everything is for funeral service. So everything was just, like, okay. But you fail to get up, you fail to get up, and you fail to keep going, and you keep pushing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
And honestly, it's like, somebody asked me, let's say, why aren't you licensed yet? Let me tell you, mortuary school is so hard. I've stopped. I haven't went back for a couple of years. So like, I do agree with the challenges. Like it's really, really hard. And it's really even harder being a full-time mortuary school student and a full-time funeral home employee. It's really, really
Hmm.
hard.
Yeah.
And so that's I'm here. We're here. So you actually did something that not a lot of people do in the industry. You actually have dived into um, consoling grief. And I know that you have your own grief ministry. So talk
Hmm.
about that a little bit because not everybody does that. We are all no one really talks about what happens afterwards. We're all focused on from first call to internment. We're that's where our focus is, but no one really takes the time to focus afterwards. So go ahead and
Right.
enlighten us about how you got into where you are, explain your journey for grief counseling and stuff like that, if you don't mind.
Okay, sure. So grief counsel was something I was probably gonna pursue like later. And one day I was at the funeral home and we had a family that asked about grief counseling. And, it kind of like struck a nerve to me because it's like I want to be like a one call all. Like when somebody need anything from us, we can keep everything in house because we're sending people out of our care that we don't know.
Yeah.
And that situation motivated me to get it quicker. And even though, in college I was going through it. I was struggling. I was dealing with it with grief really bad. And I was like, let me go ahead and find a program so I can start becoming certified and work on that because I want to be everything that we need here. Because
Hmm.
everybody, we gain a relationship with the family. So if you have somebody that's already in house, that makes it even better instead of
Yeah.
than going to somebody that you don't know. But yeah, that pushed me to just kind of like, okay, let me pursue this. And I looked at a couple programs. I was like, So I chose the hardest one because I wanted to know it. And my
Yeah.
minor is in psychology, so it was already on strike and on board with the program. I went to the American Institute of Healthcare Professionals online. It was a self-paced program. Um, Very competitive. And I'm glad being in school, being in mortuary school, and being and experiencing things for myself helped, but it was very challenging.
Hmm.
Very challenging. So I did that. I completed the program about 2 years, and I started my business called Good Grief with Michaela with six O's because my grandmother passed on November 6th.
Oh,
So everything was really kind of like entailed from her. And I said, I want to be something that I want to be someone that I needed for when I was going through
hmm.
because I didn't really have that. I didn't have TikTok. I didn't have the motivation videos to keep me up on the days where I feel like I didn't want to be here.
Yeah.
So I know how it feels to be the person where you see a family coming in and they trying to fake it like they cool, but they're not. This is
Yeah.
like a movie. This is a movie. This is scary. This is
Mhm.
different. This is challenging. It's depressing. Don't nobody want no food. Don't nobody, this just is just the part of funeral service. But the family actually, what's embedded in their heart and mind and soul, they want their person back. So to
Yeah.
have somebody like me that done sat in the front row and experiences, it made my serving and my heart different.
Yeah.
So families dwell to you when they see you really care.
Yeah. And it's so crazy. I tell you, if you are in funeral service, and it's inevitable, I say it all the time, your level of service and your level of care, your views on funeral service is totally different after you have that front row experience. It really, really is. You never can serve the same after you have that front
Yeah,
row experience.
yeah,
We're all going to go through it. We're all going to go through it, and that so I'm excited. I'm excited for your ministry. I mean, I'm glad that you have taken the step not only to continue to pursue your funeral career, but also stepping into that grief counseling. Because again, a lot of people we don't do that. We don't. And sitting in an arrangement and you can see who has it together, and who is just faking the funk just because they're in the same room with people who have it together.
right.
And it's so crazy, and you really have to start connecting in a different way with those people. And I'm so glad that someone like you actually have the knowledge and the training to be in a place where, hey, let's talk, because not everybody has the capacity to be in that place, if that makes any
Right.
sense. And so I'm really excited about that. So let's talk about a couple. I want to talk about pros and cons about the funeral industry. Um, and so, one thing that I do want to say is um, predominantly this is a male driven industry. So, talk about some of the hardships that you've had being a female and paving your way in the funeral industry.
Right. Being respected, and growing into myself, growing into my confidence, and thank God that I worked under excellent mentors and excellent leaders that help me and push me, and speak life into me when I have those moments of, okay, I just told them something, they didn't listen to me. Or if they tell them to do something, they do it.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, learning your niche, learning that um you're in charge and they follow you. So just being more assertive and serious.
Yeah,
And once I changed my approach with that, and I seen the effect of it, no matter if you family or not, have some respect and be seated where you need to be.
yeah, yeah,
And but I had to grow into that. It wasn't always because when you dealing with people, it's like, oh, okay, and then it make you like, okay, I got to change my approach. So just changing your approach,
yeah,
um, is the big difference.
yeah. So I can say kudos. I do want to say kudos because one, that is hard. That's hard.
Mhm.
It's hard. It's hard for anybody to make their name respected. Period. But that extra challenge yeah, because you're a female is different too. So kudos. Because honestly, I'm telling you, any female I work with, you in this industry, so you're gonna do whatever we got to do to make this happen. I don't care, and none of that, none
Right.
of that. You know what I mean? And it's just again, I just want to be on the even level playing field. I don't want to offend. I don't want to seem like I'm here to babysit. Like you signed up for this, so we're gonna work together. You know, if that's what it's about, and that's one
Mhm.
thing that I was like, I just had to ask because that just it's just something in me. I just a little nosy, I guess.
Right.
So tell me a couple things that boost your morale in this industry. I know there's a lot, and everybody their interest in funeral service is it varies. So tell me some things that kind of like keep you going in this industry.
Service. I always had a servant heart, and I always have the passion to do this. And I know this is, I'm doing exactly what God has told me to do.
Yeah,
So that's what kind of makes it easier for me. In dealing with families, every family is different, but you learn, and just taking that servant heart to take you far, because you're gonna have some. Every day is an unpredictable day at the funeral home. Anything is liable to happen. Anything is liable to change. And what are you gonna do when it happens?
yeah,
So just having that servant heart and being genuine. Because that's
yeah,
something that I know that I wanted for me when I was going through my hardships and dealing with grief. You want genuine people. So when you feel that genuine love, it's different, and people and families know that you're real, and they know that you're serious and you're not just here for money or for a check. Because it's everybody know that it's bigger than that.
yeah. And that's so true. That is so true. For all those who are watching, if you go back to any episode of this podcast and I ask that question, the number one thing is service. If you haven't picked that up by now, I don't know what to tell you. You got to have that servant's heart. You gotta have it. If you up to everybody, I've asked that question. It's all about service. It really
Right.
is. And you tapped on something too, Michaela. It's unpredictable. It really is. And this funeral industry is not your cookie cutter 9 to 5. All you know is going to be the same, and that's not even true too. All you know is going to be the same. You're going to work tomorrow. What time you get? What time you leave? It depends on the day.
Right.
And even no family is ever the same. No service is ever the same. I don't care what firm you have or what you work for. You may have policy and procedure, but it all changes when the next family comes in because they're not the same. So you have to be a genuine place where you can really serve those families in the best way, the best possible way for them to be satisfied. It is imperative that you serve and you have a servant's mindset, a servant's heart. So if there's nothing else I can say to my viewers, please, please, please be in funeral service for the service part of it all.
Right.
Amen. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. So, as I mentioned, Michaela, it's not your average 9 to 5. It's not your average 9 to 5. You work at a funeral home. You have your grief counseling ministry. So, how do you balance all of that and still be Michaela Hudson? Like, how do you balance your work and personal life? Because them finger waves didn't get there while you was at an arrangement. So, honey, how do you do that?
Okay, I know that's right. Pay extra. That's what I have to do. I text my spouse. I was like, "Girl, you gotta slide me. I had to go to her house and get my hair done." So after hours, after hours. So, but honestly, I changed my hours to after 5, or sometimes things change and where I can't make it. I text my client about, hey, so and so, because everybody is aware of what I do. So let's change this because I got this that happened, or that type of thing. So I try to keep everything after 5, and just do it like that, and do most of all my sessions virtually.
Okay, good. That really matters that you have, a good balance because I struggle. I don't work at a funeral home. I struggle myself. So I'm like, I don't know if I can't do this to have an arrangement. I can't do this if my service is running over. So that's really important. And I'm trying to be in a place where everything works together, truly.
Hmm.
So that's why I really asked that question because now this podcast, this platform is not just me interviewing people. Honestly, you guys all minister to me as well. And so
Hmm.
that's what it's all about, strengthening each other. So I'm like, I'm trying to see like what kind of tools can I grab so I can make sure that I'm still where I need to be.
Right.
So there's a lot of people out there who are in funeral service. I know there's some people that have poured into you. I would love for you to tell me who are some of the people in this industry, whether it's on the funeral side of things or the grief counseling side of things, are people that you look up to, who inspire you, who pour into you, or who would you consider a mentor? I would love to know that too.
Okay. Okay. I would definitely say my boss. Mr. Deal has been incredible to me. Because in this industry, it's hard to find genuine good people, and
Yes.
people under mentorship. And I'm gonna tell you something. Before I work here, I was calling funeral homes trying to find this and find that. People deny me because I'm a woman. People think I'm not qualified. A whole bunch of stuff. And it was like God had stopped me, and my church member stopped it. It was like, just stop looking. We prayed about it. And then I met somebody at Waffle House, one of my best friends, one of my good friends, Mr. Brown. He used to work here. He do life insurance now. He got his own business with that. And I met him at Waffle House. And he was like, we looking for somebody. I'm like, you what? I've been looking, and it found me. I just had to go to that Waffle House after basketball practice one night, and that was my favorite job. And come to find out, my boss from back home, Mr. Michael Fowler, that I used to work for in high school, the daughter county corner there, they knew each other.
Wow.
They was at the Capitol at the same time. And I'm like, God, you need to stop. You need to stop. You need to stop what you're doing. Cause so I said, okay. Then I had an interview, and I've been working here ever since. And
Wow.
all those people that denied me, never gave me the opportunity, that mean it wasn't right.
Yeah.
And I've been here consistent,
Yeah.
consistently paid, consistently growing. And that's what makes a difference. When you wait on God to have to do it for you than yourself. Because
Yeah.
everybody is not for you on this earth, for this
No.
for this route, for this vision. But definitely my boss, our other funeral director here, Mr. Nub, pretty much everybody here. I love Ashley to death. My friend,
Shout out Ashley.
Ashley, she really genuine. She's especially as a woman in the industry. Um,
Yeah.
she I can call her anytime. She helped me with anything. And she always pouring. She always
Yeah.
pouring. She got a genuine spirit. My good friend Herman, in Mississippi, he helped me out a lot. See, I know some of my classmates,
Mr. Herman
um,
Taylor.
in Mississippi. Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
yes. Mr. Fowler, Wakefields back at Albany. Definitely because when I started working with Mr. Fowler in high school, I had started my internship with the Daughter County Corner, and that was crazy. But that was my awakening to see if this is really what I want to do. So he
Yeah.
really was the push for me in the beginning of everything. So I have a lot of great people, older people, I would say, that I can call and just be there for me. But definitely my boss. He a really good example, and he it's not about show. He's about service and
Sure.
doing what's right and doing what's right by people,
Yeah.
doing what's right in the prep room, making sure we getting things done. We don't get by. I remember one time we was in the prep room. It was January 15, 2021. We had an overload. We was tired. And he said we don't get done. We get by. Wait, he said we don't get by. We get it done. We don't get by, we get it done. And that stuck out to me. I wrote it in my note. Anytime somebody say something to me, it'd be like, oh, I always write it down. I got stuff in my notes from 2017 that people have said to me because I remember that. So yes.
Okay. Okay. Your environment really does matter. It really does. And I'm so glad you're in a healthy place in the health. To all of those who said no to Michaela, ha ha.
I
That's for me.
I know that's
That's for
right.
me. That's for me. For those who said no, ha ha. Because
Okay.
I have followed you for a while. Michaela, like you can tell you love what you do. You can tell you love who you serve, and you can tell it's coming from a genuine place. So, like, I'm almost certain you're going to go far in this industry, and I'm so grateful for everyone that's surrounding you, who's pouring into you.
Yeah.
We have a mutual mentor, the world's best motivator, Miss Ashley Weiss. She was on this show a couple weeks ago. So she's like the world's best motivator. And I'm so grateful and glad to have her in our corner because, listen, I know she's there for you just as much as she's there for me. And
Yeah.
so it's really important that we have good people that we can look up to and look over and, that looks over us, I should say, to make sure that we're in a good place. And I'm just, that's just in awe. So I know I really get curious when I talk to us, the next generation of practitioner. I really do get curious to see where everyone's mindset is. So the question I have for you is, where do you see the funeral industry going in as a whole? Like, where do you see this? Where do you see us going um, as new practitioners carrying the traditional funeral service?
Right. I believe traditional funeral service changed a lot when COVID happened.
Mhm.
Things that we never did.
Yeah.
Recording funerals. COVID really had a big opening in the funeral industry, but in a good way to me.
Mhm.
Um, it opened a lot of doors and new waves. Now funerals are being recorded. They're like movies now. They're like videos. Um,
Mhm.
and it's different. And we have to adjust to what the people like. We have to adjust to the needs of the people. Sometimes we do have things that we be like, no, that might be too much. But in a way, it's symbolism. Everything that we do is symbolism and reflecting off of their loved ones.
Mhm.
So long as we keep that in the forefront of our mind, that is always about them and not us. And whatever you need to do for that family, you need to make sure you get it done. And also we all know the rate of cremation is going up. Um, that's just what it is. So I'm sure our prices and everything are going to be adjusting and changing. But cremation is definitely take a toll. But I think that we just use what we have, and instead of of course you're gonna have some direct cremation, but make the best out of the funeral service. So they
Got
won't,
to.
so they won't remember. So they don't have no choice but to remember what the service that they had.
Hmm. That's
So
so
I'm
true.
just making the most of what we have. I know it could be kind of an issue definitely for us, especially everybody want to go out burial, but that's just not happening these days. People don't have life insurance. Money is they people don't have it, so
Yeah.
we just got to make the most of what we got that we have.
Yeah. And two things. One, cemeteries don't help because some of the prices are outrageous.
Hmm.
Some of the
Right.
prices are outrageous. So cemeteries don't help with that problem anyway. So they're kind of like pushing people towards cremation. That's just another whole conversation. But you know, you said something that's like so true. COVID really shifted this industry fast. We had to adjust in a major moment. I don't know what the COVID protocols were where you are, but here in Delaware, it started off as 10 people at a service to 50 people at a service
Mm.
to half the building capacity, and it was so much. So we had that's when the live streaming started coming out. Drive-through viewing started coming out. It was so many, so many things that we had to do just so we can please our families. So that is like one major leap for the funeral service, and I do believe it did help some and it hurt some too,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, not everybody was prepared to make the leap as fast as we had to make the leap in COVID,
Yeah.
and it was a major difference. Even from the funeral side, you really couldn't console the way you would console any other time because you didn't know what you really didn't have answers for COVID. You didn't know how you could contract it. You didn't really
Right.
know, but all you know is your job is to serve. you know,
Mhm.
it was really crazy, and I do think that was a major leap, like you said, into the new innovative moments, into the new innovative way of funeral service. And so we do share that mindset as well. Michaela, we kind of been here, you know what I mean, all
You
night.
feel me?
We kind of been here. So I mean, and
Right.
I just even looking back, I actually had this conversation yesterday with my friends. Looking back, it's so crazy to see. I started funeral service when I was 14, and I'm 26. To see where funeral service was when I first started funeral service, to see where it is now, and I've you have to give COVID that major factor, and I never really thought about it until like you really have to give COVID that factor. If COVID didn't happen, I don't think we would ever be in the place
Mhm.
where we are now,
Right.
or as fast as we are now.
Right.
You know, and so where do you see yourself going in the funeral industry moving forward? I do know that you graduated. I know you're still in your apprenticeship and everything, and which is good. It's all good. But where do you see yourself going within like the next 5 to 10 years in funeral service?
Um, to me, for me, um, I just want to be. I want to open the surface of aftercare because I know
Yeah.
we talk about that in mortuary school. Aftercare, like I know we had to do an assignment about what is your funeral home doing about aftercare. What is the industry doing about aftercare? That's what I have to ask myself, and that's where I want to be big at. Because
Yeah.
everybody has their own thing in the industry, right? But that, like, God put that on my heart, like, to do the grief counseling, to
Mm-hmm.
to s- to to bring it up, but not so people know where to go.
Mm-hmm.
Know what that we have something instead of just going on the website and have these little quotes and that's not it.
No.
So shifting the aftercare is what I'm gonna do and stand firm in. I'm always being funeral service, but you're gonna know the world's grief counselor. That is what I call myself. So I'm definitely gonna be it.
The world's grief counselor.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what everybody gonna know.
Yeah. And for those who are watching and they're not in the industry, one, thank you for being here. But two, aftercare, just for a lack of better words, aftercare is what funeral homes provide or hope to provide after the funeral service. How can we care for our families after the funeral hour? So that's what, when you hear us mention aftercare, it's more, it's reaching out. How can we still help you honor your loved one although the funeral is over? How can I help you although the funeral is over? So, Michaela, she does grief counseling. She is still possibly doing things other than grief counseling, make sure her families are still taken care of after the funeral service. So that's when you hear aftercare, that's what that means.
Right.
And so I wanted to just to kind of get that little tidbit because I know in this platform y'all hear a lot of words that y'all may not know what it is,
Right.
but I'm gonna be in a place where I'm gonna start pause and break it down for y'all. So, Michaela, like this is like really like I'm really excited for you. Like my mind is I get my mind gets blown all the time on here. I don't know why, but it just does. But I'm really excited for you, and I'm really excited to see what you do moving forward because I really do believe you're one. You are one of the ones that can bring, like the real true spirit of what we really do
Right.
back to where it is. Because unfortunately, and it was said last week, unfortunately, it's really becoming a competition based industry rather than a colleague based industry, and
Keep
that's
doing
not what.
this. Keep doing it.
Uh, I'm one who will be on the side of I don't have any competition. I have nothing but colleagues. And it's just in me. I love everybody that I work with, work for. Um, we all can't bury everybody. We really all can't, and I can't stress that enough. I might say this. I will say this every week if I have to until it changes. But we all can't bury one funeral home can't bury everybody. I don't. It just blows, Michaela. It really just blows my mind. Like, what are you guys getting at? Like, oh, I
Right.
took Raheem's call.
Yeah. I'm
Like,
glad you mentioned that. Because before I ever got a funeral service, I was just so excited to see funeral homes and hearses, and I love this person. Oh, I look up to them. And then when I get in the industry and learn, what- and learn for
yeah,
myself, it's
yeah,
different. It's a doggy world. It's no
yeah,
different than the music industry.
yeah. And
So go ahead.
honestly, it's a if you don't have a strong backbone, it's enough to drive you away from this industry.
Yeah, I agree.
And so it just doesn't help. And honestly, like we go to conventions and we kiki, but it's really so like, what's she doing next? You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, who's she talking to? Like, and we have to get out of that. Like, we have to get out of that.
Yeah.
And that's like my prayer for this industry, and for this industry. And this kind of leads me to my next question. For you, but my prayer for this industry is that we all get back to loving each other. We really do. And I'm not going to stop praying that thing until I start seeing that thing change. And I'm not going,
Hmm.
and even then, I'm not going to stop praying on that thing so it can stay that way.
Hmm.
Because I don't know everything. Michaela doesn't know everything, and so we have to have those colleagues that can help us.
Hmm.
And me calling you for help isn't a signal that he's weak. Let's pray on him.
Ooh, come on.
It's not that. It's just I want your knowledge. Teach me, help me. Let's
Okay.
work together. Iron sharpens iron, and that's just like it amazes me. And older pioneers and older film directors, if it was like this, they had a great way of hiding it. They really did. But
Right.
it's not about who looks better. It's not about none of that. It really isn't. How can I serve a family better? How can I do that? With
Right.
pride, with dignity, and with excellence, and all of the things that you know we should have, not rather than I gotta do it better than let me do it this way. Yeah, there we go. I gotta do it better than Michaela. Like it doesn't work like that. And,
Right.
and it just blows my mind. So my question for you is, I know what I just named. I would love some. What I would love to see the funeral industry get back to. But name something you would love to see the funeral industry get back to.
Well, you really took it out of my mouth, sir. Because listen, I had to realize that in some different ways. That's why it's important to have discernment. It's important to be yourself, to dress like yourself,
Yeah.
to know who you are, to know whose you are. And I know in college we had our theme for our team was "Don't be like them." That was our hashtag on our shirt. Be like you. Be who God called you to be. And you will shine regardless. Don't try to compare yourself, your life, and your journey just because you failed and you made it. You might have didn't take. You didn't pass this time, or you didn't pass this time, or you didn't finish. Go back. Go back. Don't
Mm-hmm.
give up. Don't grow weary in well doing. But I do want to see this industry grow into to having more genuine people.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
are some now. There are some. There are some. God has really put people in my life that I can call, and I work in a genuine space. I have people that I can call, but it just a lot of things and situations just have upsetted me because I'm not a person that start mess. I don't, that's just not me. And there are so many things that have happened that I wouldn't dare to talk about. But it's crazy to me. Like, get to
Yeah.
know people for yourself. People be lying on people and creating false narratives because of hate,
Hmm. Or jealousy.
jealousy, and you can do the same thing
The same
and
thing.
don't even have what you have.
Yeah.
So just be very careful. Everybody is not your friend though. You ain't gonna be friends with everybody. You ain't gonna be cool with everybody. You gotta respect. You gotta
Yeah.
respect.
Yeah.
So
And
just having more genuine people in this industry will help.
yeah. Man, I'm telling you that question there, baby, that thing hurt, that thing steps on some toes, but
It
but it's
do.
true. It's true. And I
Pride,
believe,
pride ruin relationships, friendships.
yeah.
Like that. Oof. Hey, Drake said no friends in the industry. He was talking about the funeral industry.
He was talking about us. Yes.
Drake was talking about us. He was talking about us. And
Yeah.
it wasn't meant to be like that. I know I for myself, I have a routine every day in the morning. I always listen to Martin Luther King. Every morning in the morning, he talking about your life blueprint.
Mm,
And it's
mm,
so much out of everything that he talk about, he always talk about love.
yeah.
Love, 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 love. That's what this world needs. No, don't basically don't be like how people treat you. Even if people treat you wrong, love them anyway. Because if you do, yeah, look, God to make your enemies your footstool. I seen it happen. I
Yeah.
seen it happen.
And, and it's so crazy. And so I was labeled as messy at one point. And it was, I guess it's just because I don't really know where the root was. But I sat back and I was praying and I was thinking and I just, and one thing that came to mind is greatness always has adversity.
Hmm.
And I sometimes, those who face adversity, um, please don't ever dim your light for anybody. Your light is as bright as it is because God put the bulb there.
Hmm.
So shine your light and continue to keep going. And you're going to face, I'm telling you, you're going to face adversity. Adversity it can be rooted from jealousy. It can be rooted from pure hate. It can be rooted from, just wishing they could be you. It can be rooted. One time someone told me, you're not me and you can never be me. Baby, I'm not trying to. It's hard being Raheem. I don't want to be nobody else. Okay?
Okay.
So, and
All
I
right.
don't know, your full struggles and you don't know my full struggles, but at the end of the day, all of my personal feelings and all my personal struggles get put to the side so I can strongly serve my families. And that's why, and you said it too, you have to be really careful about who you call your friend in this industry until it changes, because I believe one day it's going to change. And you listen to Martin Luther King every day, and Martin Luther King could talk about love all the time, peace
Yeah.
all the time, togetherness all the time in the midst of all the adversity he was dealing in. Why can't we do it? Why,
Right.
why not? It's a, it's a heck of a lot easier now. Why can't we do it? And unfortunately, it's always us.
Hmm.
Always us. And that sucks. Like we have to band together. Like we have to. We're not in these associations and conferences for nothing. Like we are a part of stuff to be one, to strengthen each other. Michaela, I'm telling you, you opened up Pandora's box for me. I'm telling you, this thing is
Hmm.
real. It's
Yeah.
really real. And I'm like, and kudos to like ladies like yourself, because us men, we don't make it easy for you. We don't make it easy for you.
Hmm.
They can't say they're too fragile. No, they're not strong enough. Stop that. Every man watching who has said any of those words, stop that. And I say that because some of these women might be stronger than you. I'll take a woman on a house call before I call a man. I'm just saying. I'm just,
Okay.
you just and this industry needs our ladies, because a woman's presence
Hmm.
is consoling all in itself.
Yeah.
And so stop. That's just me to y'all. Stop. Okay, great. Back to the interview.
Okay.
Oh my! I'll tell you, I just get so filled up. Because I think it's for me. I love the funeral industry. I really do. I love what we do. Um, this is the most morally rewarding industry we could ever work in. And I saw a post talking about what the embalming table has seen. Um, I
Yeah.
saw a post talking about what a hearse has been through. Just we are a part of that. And yet, if you're still serving, and that's another chance to serve. And you should be grateful because that embalming table didn't see your face.
Mm. Yeah.
That first call is not your name. So you should still be grateful, and that's what fuels me. I woke up this morning, and I don't like when I was on the other side of the table. I didn't like it. It didn't feel good. I know how it feels, and
Yeah.
so when I'm on this side of the table, I want to make this just as easy as possible, and
Yeah.
loving as possible. Just because it could be me. It really could, Michaela. And I'm just going to shut up and go to my another question because I can keep talking. I can keep talking. Um, yeah. So Michaela has some. She has a platform, and Michaela, her grief ministry it goes, and then I want Michaela, if you don't mind sharing with our viewers, the vision of your grief counseling ministry that you have. Tell them how they can view, because that's really important. Because for those, even if you're not in a space of grief, this is the season of the holidays, and this is some of the worst seasons for those who are grieving. And I would love Michaela to use Michaela as a resource. Get in
Mhm.
contact with her if you know of anyone who could use her services. You can call me, but she knows more. Um, she went to school for this thing. But it's really important, and those who are genuine in the industry, we really care about our families after the fact, especially during the holiday season. We know how it can be. So, Michaela, please tell them how they can get in contact with you. Talk about your grief ministry all in itself.
Okay, I got you. Well, thank you. So my grief business is really taking off. I do all of my content. I make genuine content on TikTok. I gain a lot of followers. I've been in a lot of interviews, magazine covers, some that haven't even came out yet. I did my first client slash I didn't even know she was a part of a magazine in Canada, but she's my client and she featured me in a Canadian magazine there. Um what and I have an interview that I did with Complex that's getting ready to come out pretty soon. So it's definitely like doing some numbers in some ways, and I just thank God for that because I didn't think that I would be in this position so early in life to be able to be so strong and to talk about it and just have hope where people be looking like, girl, what? How do I get to be like you? So yeah, so I just make genuine content about different topics. God had put some topics on my heart. I just have something like, okay, let me go make a video, and I just naturally talk. I don't write down nothing. I don't schedule stuff. I just record and I just flow. I don't. I'm very free spirited when it comes to speaking about that. Because I know it so well. So yes, my TikTok is Michaela L Hudson, Michaela L Hudson, and my business phone number. It's 706-521-9320. That's where anybody can call me or text me to set up an appointment or just to figure out. I speak at events. I've been going to events, so getting booked from TikTok. So yes, it's definitely working.
Go ahead. She says she was on a Canadian magazine, international. You better come on here, international
Right.
Canadian magazine. And here I am with this podcast thing. I'm thinking I'm doing a little doing something, something. Like you in Canada, girl.
Please. Whatever.
So I do want to take a moment, and I would love for. I'm just going to turn it back over to you just for a brief moment. I want you to do two encouragement pieces.
Okay.
I would love for you to one encourage all of us young practitioners moving forward. Um,
Mhm.
about just encourage them on how to move forward,
Mhm.
encourage them to keep going. Your words, not mine, because I'm going to shut up.
Gotcha.
Um, and then I want you to encourage all of those in the industry or out who may be watching in this season that are going through some grief.
Right.
Go ahead and just encourage them, give them the tools that you know how to do best since you're in Canada. Um, and so just if you could just do that for me, that would be great. I would greatly appreciate it.
I got you. So what God has put on my spirit right now, which is to tell you, do not grow weary in well doing. There are so many times that I have failed and failed and failed and failed, but you cannot fail. You gotta fail for it. I love this quote by Les Brown where he say, if you can look up, you can get up.
Mm,
So that was just very powerful to me in those moments in college where I was going through it. Where I didn't know who I was. I'm looking in the mirror. I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm struggling. I'm like, God, I don't know where you at. Help me. You know what I'm saying? Just going through those phases, knowing that pain brought me into my purpose. Know that your pain and whatever that you're going through is gonna push you to your purpose. But we all got to go through it. We all are dealing with something. You're not perfect. Always what I say now, you're not superwoman, you're not superman, you superhuman. And also for those that are grieving, also in the funeral industry, take care of yourself. I remember I thought it was okay to just work every day, don't take vacations, don't do nothing for yourself, and just show up, and you will crash. And that will kill you if you don't rest. If you don't take care of yourself, go to the doctor, go book you a weekend trip for your by yourself. Put your phone down. Go. It don't ha- you don't have to spend a lot of money to have quality time with yourself. It because we don't always have it. Like you know what I'm saying. So make sure that you are taking care of yourself and put yourself as a priority. Make sure you're keeping your hair up. Make sure you get your hair cut. Making sure you're going to get you a pedicure or get you a manicure. Do
mm-hmm,
something that makes you feel good. If it's going to get an ice cream, but make sure that you just take care of yourself and do things for you. Because if not, it will eat you up. Even if you're grieving, even if you're working in funeral service, anything that you do, you have to take some time to just chill. Like, you don't have to put your makeup on today and just lay in your bed and rest and put your phone down. Because sometimes our phone can be our biggest distraction. And for those that are going through grief during the holidays, it has to hurt before it heal. I was just telling one of my clients the other day, like when I grew up, I played outside. I played rough. I played with the boys. I played basketball, and I had so many scrapes and bruises on my leg. And we get those, what is it called for your elbow? You get the burns and stuff on your elbows from
Rug
falling in the
baby.
road. Look, but it had to hurt before it got better. When you get done from coming outside, you go tell your mama, look, you got to take care of that wound. You got to get that neosporin. You got to get that alcohol. And even though you don't want to go through the painful process, but you got to clean, disinfect it. So before you put that cream on there, you put the band-aid on there. You have to, and that's the same way you have to look at yourself in this season. You're a wound. You're sensitive. And you have to take care of yourself. Be careful what you put in your ears, what you take into your heart, what you're saying out of your mouth is very powerful. So you're like a wound in this season. Be gentle with yourself, take care of yourself, clean yourself, and over time it'll get better. But it has to hurt before it get better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done.
Well, I'm gonna drop this. That was her mic, just in case y'all didn't know what that was. Um,
I dropped it.
please, please, please. Um, if you need her resources, they are pinned at the bottom. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. I say this all the time and I mean it. This platform can't be anything without you. Michaela, thank you for your yes. Thank you for your time. I'm going to text you and I'm going to say this every week. I'm going to give you my number. My goal is to stay connected with all of my guests because at the end of the day, we're all one. And my prayer is that something that I've said or something that I can do can help you as you help me along the way in this industry. So I
Right.
thank you for your time. I thank you all for tuning in. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and I will see you again on the life of the young film professional. Hold on, before we time out. This is a tongue twister for me. The life of the young funeral professionals. I struggle every week saying it, Michaela.
It's all right. You're gonna get it together. You doing good. You doing good.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Michaela. Any closing remarks? If not, thank you for tuning in, guys.
Yeah, I just wanna give you your credit. Oh, it ended.
No.
Wait, hold on. I just pay attention.
All right. So, Michaela, before we finish tonight, is there any closing remarks that you would like to say?
The only thing I would like to say, I gotta give people their flowers while they living, because you know that's what we do. That's what we learn in funeral. Like, give people their flowers. I just want to give you your flowers for this platform because it's needed. This is a beautiful thing that you're doing, and I want you to continue to keep going and keep going and keep going because it's every video is good. I've been watching them all, and I love it because it's you're talking about real things. You're talking about real life from real people, real experience, and and we're not forgotten about. So I just appreciate God laying this idea for you, and don't let nobody stop you. And the sky is
Thank
the
you.
limit. The sky is the limit, my friend. I'm
Yes, yes,
done.
yes, yes,
I'm
yes.
done. I'm through.
Listen, I thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. And I thank God for this platform. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I love y'all. And I'll see y'all next week.
All right.